Okay, we're live Friday, December 6th, last live of the week. Hopefully I won't fuck it up today and push the wrong button. Unfortunately, yesterday after going through the NFL, each game, I accidentally hit a button and we lost the live. I could not even post it, so we finished off when I came back. So hopefully that won't happen today. My tech abilities are not the greatest. We'll give some guys a chance to get in. And while we're waiting, always a good time to ask any questions that you might have. Why did we make such and such a bet? Why are the ratings this or that? So I'll give that to you guys. Give you guys that chance now. Green Bay Packers did everything they could to stay with that Detroit Lion juggernaut. But we do see as we talked about yesterday, if you were listening, just too many injuries to the defense now. It is starting to wear down. Dom, I'll give you the lines when I give you all the whole rundown. Don't ask me what particular game. Not going to go out of order. We'll wait till everybody gets in. I'll give you an NBA rundown. But yeah, Detroit Lions, as we said, you lose a superstar, stud, Hutchinson, Anzalone. You lose. They lose Rodriguez, Pascal and Reeder both out last night. It's just death by 100 cuts. And that's just what looked happened to him. Under looked good on that Packers-Lions game. The Packers came right out with that score. And you see the game was opening up. I feel a good weekend coming up for Mass Edge members, especially NBA. We shall see. I got 2 games today. I like the 2 games today. We'll talk about them later. If you guys have been listening to me all week, I've touched upon the 4 conference championships, the conferences that I cover: ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, SEC. The first game on your schedule for Saturday, Iowa State, ASU. I told you guys we're on the dog on that one. That one now down to 1.5 pretty much everywhere, with Arizona State's leading wide receiver, one of the top wide receivers in the country, out for that game. You've got an Iowa State defense that's number 3 in the country against the pass. Now you don't have to worry about that. You could focus on Scatterboo, they're one of the top running backs in the country. Also, Iowa State, they've got a couple of 1,000-yard receivers themselves. I make Iowa State the favorite in this one. We're flipping 2s, taking 2 instead of I thought Iowa State should be a 2-point favorite. So not going over any of those real solid numbers, 3, 7. Those are the numbers you want to get over, cross over to make it a bigger bet. But this is a 2-unit bet for me with Iowa State. SMU game sitting at 2.5. And as I described yesterday, I like Clemson. I think Clemson's got the experience. They've been in these big games before. SMU's first year in the ACC. I just like Clemson in this one. Sweeney's, he's been coaching for national championships before. I like Clemson in this one. But the game's sitting at 2.5. I'm willing to risk taking 2 if the sharps come in, and I tell you guys how they sweep the whole board, with the chance that the game gravitates to 3. If they're trying to push it to 3, would much rather take the 3. The 3 obviously worth a lot more than the 2.5, but we'll lean that way towards Clemson. NBA today, not a huge card for a Friday night, but we got 7 games. I've got a couple of bets. See if you can tell which ones they are. We'll go through it now. Do Sixers coming vengeance against Magic tonight? Damn, I don't know how much of a vengeance they can have. What I can say is this: it is a double revenge. These 2-game series are always tough to sweep. What's going to make it tougher. This is going to be the fifth and final game of an 8-day trip for the Magic. So they go back home after this. They'll play one game at home and then go into that quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. So final games of trips over a week are always tough. Going to be compounded tough playing against the 76ers for the second night in a row. Remember, they beat them the first night without PG. Sixers won their two prior games that PG had played in. He'll be back tonight. So tough spot for Orlando. Making it tougher, if you guys remember, if Master Edge members remember, we bet the Magic last month. It was November, let's call it November 15th. It was back last month. It was the Magic getting +3 over the 76ers. Magic closed the 2.5 point favorite. They won by a dozen. So you've got this 2-game series revenge, home revenge, double revenge because they also lost at Orlando last year. And prior to this year, Philly had won 14 of the prior 15 meetings, 12-3 against the spread. So Philly be going up against a team they owned. I know this is a different Magic team. Tough spot for Orlando here. PG will be back. To me, this is Philly or nobody. Milwaukee, Boston, and I think it was Dom asked me about that. What do I make this game? I have no idea. I don't know who's playing yet. So Holiday will play. He'd missed the last couple of games. Tatum sat out the last game against Detroit. They got a questionable tag on him. Horford and Porzingis, we know these guys aren't going to play back-to-back, and the Celtics host Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow. So do they do a 1-1? Do they sit Porzingis today? Do they sit Horford tomorrow? Or vice versa? Need the injuries, guys. That's why I say at 11 o'clock, I can give you the best sports betting information you can get anywhere. But again, that's the information at 11 a.m. We got a 7:40 game. So I've got 8 hours and 40 minutes to get information on that game. Giannis should be probable. He played the back-to-back, which that was the question mark when he played against the Hawks. Told you guys the other day it was a terrible spot for Milwaukee. Big letdown coming off the night before beating Detroit to move on to the Cup. But as I said, Giannis played that game. Would expect him to play today. Celtics, they have won both meetings against the Bucks this year, covering both, winning by 11 in Boston earlier in the year, and then winning by 6 at Milwaukee. That was a tough loss for us. It took either 5 or 5.5 and lost by 6. That was a Sunday game in Milwaukee. So I would like a reason to want to bet Milwaukee in this one. But if everybody play, obviously the line is higher than 8. Right now, that line is 8. If everybody is to play for the Celtics, that line is closer to 9.5, 10. But will everybody play, being that they've got a game against Memphis tomorrow? And just a tidbit, I'll throw this out there to you. Celtics against the Grizzlies have won 16 of the last 17. 16-1 the last 17, 12-5 against the spread. So an absolute ownership against Memphis. So maybe they play some guys feeling that they own the Grizzlies going into tomorrow. We'll see how that game goes. All about the injuries, guys. Lakers, Atlanta, another injury game here. Will LeBron play? If you guys saw my post today on X, I put it up. LeBron right now, he's made just one of his last 23 three-point attempts. You can directly correlate it. Well, that the actual post says the Lakers have dropped 6 of their last 8. And then underneath it, I've got that LeBron has made only one of his last 23 three-pointers. So that directly correlating to the losing streak they're playing. You've got to go through a day. I'm not a LeBron basher by no way. What this guy's meant to the game is unbelievable. But he is 40 years old. And I know he's still putting up stats and hats off to him. But when he's got the ball, you got 4 Lakers just sitting around waiting to see what's going to happen. So it's got to be ball movement. And again, if he's not knocking down that three-pointer, which he has been become a better three-pointer as his three-point shooter as his career went on, he's got to knock down that shot. Obviously better than 1 from 23. So going against a red-hot Hawk team, 5 straight wins. 4 of the wins by double digits. The only game they don't win by double digits, we had the team they were playing, the disgusting Charlotte Hornets. We took +6 that day, and we got the W. They only lost by 3. Again, got to see what the story is with LeBron. Reeves has already been ruled out. He's missed the last 2 games. In the last 2 games, the Lakers have been absolutely blown out of the building. So again, is LeBron playing this game at 5.5? Obviously, if LeBron's playing, they're not a 5.5 point favorite over the Hawks. The Hawks are not a 5.5 point favorite over the Lakers, no matter how bad they're playing. So this is what we call like in the middle. If LeBron is out, you'll see this game go as high as 7. If he's in, this game is going to be back down to around 4, which is pretty much what I make it with Reeves out. Sac and San Antonio. Sac sold on us last night. I had +5. I know some of my Mass Edge members did. Not all of them did. And that's unfortunate. 2 free throws at the end of the game after we missed our shot. And the game goes from 3 and lands 5. Smart hits both of them. And the game lands 5. Been rough going, no question about it. Though we're getting on the right track with the Nets the night before. So where I take a push, I don't feel like a winner when most of my guys lost because they were not able to get the 5. The 5 was available at Bet Online. Allie says, I took +5.5 live. I forgot to place it, luckily. Way to go, Allie. So yeah, I'm always happy for anybody that wins that game. So Sac now is going to go to San Antonio. Sac back-to-back. They've won just one of their last 4 games. That was at home against Houston. San Antonio, is Wemby playing? Again, another big question mark. Just give me 1 sec, guys. Seeing some movement here. So San Antonio also back-to-back. Wemby sat out yesterday. Remember, Wemby has a big triple-double. And then they go up against Phoenix tonight. We're on San Antonio. And he comes with an out-and-out stinking dud, 6 for 18. And then they say he's got backaches. Oh, you poor baby. They rested him yesterday. We'll see what happens today. If Wemby plays, and by the looks of the line, it looks like he's doubtful, there's no way Sac could be a 5.5 point favorite, even hitting 6 at DraftKings and Pinnacle. Tells me he's going to sit, but we'll wait and see. Also, Vassell, who started the year on the IR, played a few games, went back, wasn't back on the injured list, but missed a few more games and is back again. Will he sit in the second of a back-to-back? I got to see the lineups, guys. Spurs have won the first 2 meetings. That's why this number's inflated also. Little double revenge. Remember, they just played in Sacramento. Spurs winning, I think that was a 127-125. There was a 2-point win, and they blasted Sacramento in San Antonio early in the year, beat them by 20. So double revenge for Sacramento, both teams back-to-back. But obviously, San Antonio was home. Sac had to travel. Who are they going to have playing in the second of a back-to-back? So we'll wait and see on those lineups. But again, it's all about Wemby. That line will move like 3 points if he's in. You'll see that those 6s come down to 3. Indiana, Chicago. And they just keep making fucking Indiana a road favorite. We took advantage of it the other night with the Brooklyn Nets. And man, I get that. Look, Chicago's back-to-back. They were down in San Antonio last night. And they come away with a 12-point win, 136-124, I believe it was. And now they're coming back home. So they're back-to-back. Colby White, he's missed the last 2 games. Will he be available today? We'll see. You always want to have everybody available in that second half of a back-to-back. Now, Indy is 4th and 6. Back-to-back is worse, but that's 4th and 6 is tough also. 4th city in 6 days. Their last stop before this was Brooklyn. They've lost the first 3 of the road trip. They have now lost. They have not won a road game since November 4th. Indiana Pacers have not won a road game since November 4th, losing 8 straight road games, 1-7 against the spread. Only one of the losses has come by less than 9 points. They are 0-9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. And again, this team's just not a road favorite. They've got, I believe, the 3rd or 4th worst road record in the NBA right now. And nothing I want to do with the Pacers, even though the Bulls are coming back-to-back. Bulls are nobody for me getting the points. Bulls' last 2 games, big win at San Antonio, blowout win before that at home against the Nets. So they've won their last 2 games by a combined 44 points. Bulls took 3 of 4 meetings with the Pacers last year. Mini Golden State, and really the only injury we're waiting to hear for there is Dre Green. Dre's missed the last couple of games. Steph also sat out last night, but he's expected to be back. Golden State's going to open up that NBA Cup quarterfinals with Houston. So it looks like they were spotting Houston last night. They didn't want to play Curry, and Dre is legitimately injured with the calf. But they go and beat Houston anyway, because now they've beaten Houston 15 straight times. That's we're talking about ownership, guys. They just absolutely own them. So they'll go against Minnesota today. They'll have Steph. Still a question mark on Dre. Minnesota's played better their last couple of games. They've won 3 straight. A narrow win against the Clippers. But they absolutely buried the Lakers. They buried the Clippers then. They beat the Clippers when they were home by 1. That was a 96-95 win. They bury the Lakers. And then they go to the Clippers. And they bury the Clippers. But Clippers were back-to-back and no Norman Powell. The last couple of games, they showed us that defense that they hung their hat on last year. Let's see if that continues with Steph. They had good luck last year, a 2-game series. They won both games at Golden State, which this is the first of a 2-game set in Golden State. And again, they won both games in the same situation at Golden State last year. So Steph in, Dre questionable, Golden State's back-to-back. My number on this game, even with Dre in the lineup, is Minnesota 1. So you'll see this line go up. If Dre comes in, I think Minnie is 1. If he's not in, you will see Minnesota go to at least 2.5. And the final game, a couple of the most pathetic teams in the West, and that's Utah at Portland. I'm just watching numbers change. She has Golden State goes to Pick'em. Utah and Portland. If you're a Master Edge member, you'll see I've got Utah rated 6.8 on the road. I've got Portland rated 10.0 at home. That's a 3.2 difference. Both teams have been off for 2 days. Both teams are coming off beatdowns. Portland got at the hands of the Clippers at LA, and Utah got buried at OKC. Last year, Jazz took 3 of the 4 meetings, splitting 2 in Portland. 3.2, that's my number on this game. Game is sitting at 2.5, so there's just not an edge in that one. Clarkson will remain out for Utah. He's been out quite a while now. And Scooter Henderson, he's questionable. He's missed the last few. Other than that, they're pretty healthy. They don't have Robert Williams, Portland. He's dealing with a concussion. But they got Grant back. They got Simons back. Sharp's been back for a while. Ayton's back in the lineup. So they've got some of their players back. 3.2, again, that's my number in that game. I'll answer some questions here for you guys. Allie, Reeves' insurance claim got rejected by United Health. Allie's a comedian. LeBron's son ruined his career. Okay, Allie, LeBron's son, anybody, nothing could ruin the highest scorer in the NBA. Now, I'm not a LeBron lover or a hater. I just say fact. He's the highest scorer in NBA history. His son's not ruining his career. Do you think Golden State will be healthy tonight? Curry back, so we answered that already. Mavs versus OKC. First round of NBA Cup line is at 5. Gotta wait to see, God forbid somebody gets hurt or whatever. OKC, remember, Mavs beat them in the playoffs last year. OKC will want to be looking for revenge in that one. John, the Warriors are super deep. Yeah. You're not replacing Steph Curry, my man. I know they're super deep. You better be super deep on a back-to-back. Love Kuminga. He came up big time for them last night. You want Dre in the lineup. I don't know what you're trying to get at. Wemby, Skinny, Greg Oden. So, Ali, sometimes you're funny and sometimes you're silly. So, you can't compare. Wemby is a unicorn. Now, is he going to stay healthy? Greg Oden wasn't even healthy. But Greg Oden did, and I watched Greg Oden from the time he was in college, did not have this much of the talent that Wemby has. But Wemby has, especially with his fucking reach. His reach it doesn't look like he's a real human being. The blocks. He's a game changer. So there's nothing even compare. Bulls shooting 50%, I think, 5 straight games. Just look at the numbers the Bulls are producing. They're putting up some offense. Wonder why T-Wolves open at +2 and are now -1 favorites if everyone back for Golden State. We don't know everybody's back for Golden State. Right now, with that line movement, it's telling me that Dre is out. Dre has a legitimate injury. He went for an MRI yesterday on the calf. Steph was just Steph was rested, in my opinion. So they'll have a better shot at Houston in the opening round of that NBA Cup. They were giving them one. Good morning, Julian. Good morning, LL Cool James. LeBron, since his son joined the NBA, been trash, all I'm saying. Okay. Zion and Greg Oden, the same thing. Zion, maybe, but you can't even. Zion more talented than him also. At least Zion played some games. I swear the refs are in on it. We saw that Mavs-Memphis game the other night. Do you take refs under consideration? I absolutely look at refs. As I said the other day, those 3 names, was it Corbin, Jenna Schroeder, and I wrote those names down. We will be watching, and Ben Taylor, those 3 referees, when shit don't make sense, we take notice. So when you have the team that goes to the line, the 5th most in the NBA, Memphis Grizzlies, and they only go 14 times to the line, and the Mavs go 44 times, more than 3 times, we're going to take a look at that. We're going to see if that crews together. Look, these are the things how I caught Donaghy. Report said Draymond MRI clean. Absolutely did. Doesn't mean he's going to come back today. The calf is still hurting. Just means there's not a tear in the calf. I've gone for MRIs. I worked the next day. They told me, you got 2 bulging discs and 2 fucking slip discs. Buddy Hield is honestly my fave player off the Warriors bench. Buddy Hield, when he's knocking down that 3 ball, absolutely. But he's hot and he's cold. Last night, I think he was a 0. Wemby is not made of glass. He is not. Yeah, refs got Bulls to pay too. Bulls to pay. Bills. Okay. Refs gave all the free throws to Warriors yesterday. When you control the whistle, you control the whistle. That's why, look, home teams are a home team edge. That's part of the reason built into that home team. Refs are human. They do get caught up with the crowd. Okay? Calls, those 50-50 calls tend to go to the home team. So it's all part of the game, guys. It's all part of the game. But when it's over, look, you can miss the block charge call. I mean, that some of those are so tight. But if one team just gets every one of the calls, then you gotta say, hey, what's up with that? When one team that usually goes to the line doesn't go to the line, and the other team outshoots them at the line by 3 times, then you got to look at it. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. They're not all fixed. It's just tendencies, and we do look at the tendencies. What else we got here? No, looks like all those questions are answered. So, like I said, a little NBA card. Tomorrow you will have a 7-game card, then a big Sunday card. Usually don't have that big a Sunday card during NFL season, but a big one Sunday, 1 game Monday, and then we go into the NBA Cup. So a little change in the schedule. But as I said, you've got the 7 games today. Our Mass Edge members have already got bets on 2 of them. Anything could happen, could have more. We'll wait and see. Politics more rigged, but sports not as rigged as bettors think. Okay, so let's stop going with that silliness, guys, because there's only one way to keep a secret. If 2 people know it, you kill the other guy. Then you keep your secret. Other than that, there's just no way to keep a secret, especially secrets on that level. Vegas is in on it. Refs are in on it. The NBA. Just imagine all these people are in on it, but it's not widespread news. When Donaghy was robbing games, everybody was in on it. And that's why it became out to the public. I told you guys that too long ago. Don Best, the screen service that I use, if you just heard in the background, they started talking about officials. Officials means they're releasing the referees for the particular games today. Well, they've been doing that for years. You get the referee assignments come out between 9 and 9:30. During the Donaghy days, when he was refereeing a certain game, we wouldn't get the referee assignments from Don Best. So was it just by some extreme coincidence that Don Best did not post the games that Donaghy was a ref, and they were in on it? They were the guys from Philly that were placing the bets for Donaghy. They were in on it. They had other bettors that were in on it. Some of the books got known what was going on. I was betting the opposite side before I knew on an Orlando Magic Houston Rocket game. I bet 20 grand on the Magic when they didn't move the line. They usually give me 5 dimes back in the day and move the line at least a half a point. The guy gave me 20 and didn't move the line, and I found Donaghy was in the game. What I did in that game, I believe the Magic had a tremendous lead at halftime. I saw that Donaghy was the fucking referee at the game. I went and bet the other way for the second half. Houston won the second half, but Magic still won the game. I middled the fucking game. But that's how fucking corrupt it was back then. My dad used to say that too. Only way to keep a secret, but he still thinks we landed in the moon and Lee Harvey shot. Refs have a lot of control. Of course they do, but it doesn't mean they're in cahoots with gamblers, the NBA, Vegas. Some could just be tendencies. Jenna Schroeder was one of the referees that we did follow last year. She was an under referee. A lot of games went under, so we follow the tendencies. Not casting aspersions that the fix was in on any game, okay? I'm just saying tendencies. Now, what made me realize Donaghy, okay, if I'm betting, I'm the sharpest NBA bettor in the world. I'm betting a game and the line's going against me without injuries, or I'm going to bet 20 dimes on a game when you usually only give me 5 and you ain't moving the line, something's up. You understand? So if we see stuff like that, and then we see the same referees again, okay, now it is food for thought. Other than that, they're just tendencies. We know them as the Illuminati. They probably called something else the Illuminati. Some of you guys are funny guys. Anyway, guys, that's it. Again, as our last live of the week. Unfortunately, we dropped. We were making headway here. Got up to 200 in a couple of our lives, and now we're bottoming out. Half that many people. Hopefully, we'll do a better job next week. The more people we get, the more likes and comments and retweets I get, the more bets I'll give you guys. If not, you can always become a member. Oh, here we go. Where is it? Okay, it's Massa Edge. You can become a member. You can get all my games. You get my ratings. Get a preview on every game. Follow me there, guys, and let's make some money. Have a great weekend.